Welcome back once again. Alec Himes, Truth Healing 777. Today's episode is going to be about unconditional love. A lot of people throughout history and currently in our country and all over the world, we have different perspectives on evolution and how things came to be in this world. Myself personally, I'm going to put it out there and keep it a buck with you. All right, before we even get into the presentation, before we get into the slideshow, I believe in and practice unconditional love. But what does that really mean, though? To me, and my personal opinion, unconditional love means no matter what a person's race, heritage, appearance, take all factors out, and you can still see that individual as a human being and love them simply based upon that fact, okay? I don't have to like everything you do. I don't have to like everything you say. I can disagree with the things you do. I can disagree with the things you say. But I still love and accept you as a person, okay? I believe that's the most important thing right there is being able to accept a person, no matter their actions, no matter their words, no matter their genetic makeup, heritage, whatever. You accept that person as who they are. Again, if that person is exhibiting toxic behavior or toxic speech or things like that, I still love you, but I'm going to have to feed you with a long-handled spoon. I'm going to have to separate myself from you. You feel me? But that does not change the fact that I still love you. All right? I think that we as a society, we as a people have to understand that. We have to establish our own personal definition of what unconditional love is. Okay? So here at Truth Healing 777, we're going to break it down. This is the community, and this is the type of environment that we're trying to create here at Truth Healing 777. All right? I believe that every person on this earth is connected. We are all one race, and that's the human race. Okay? We may have different heritage, we may have different genetic makeup, but we are all the human race. Period. End of story. I don't care what anybody tells you. You can do all the research you want, and all the research that you're going to find is going to lead you to the same thing unless you're reading someone else's interpretation of what evolution of genetics is. But when you go to the scientific, when you go to the research and all the things that have been documented and proved, okay, through genetics and through all these different things, it will show you, and even there's even Caucasian, Asian, doesn't matter what kind of researcher it is, they're going to tell you straight up, based upon the information, based upon the research, we're all one. We all came from one source, okay? So that being said, let's dive right into it. Let me slide aside, and I'm going to let the slides speak for themselves, okay? Unconditional love, the universal language, all right? Why is it the universal language? Okay? Uni, the prefix uni means one. A verse is a song. So we're talking about one song, one verse, universe, okay? One song. That means that everybody should be on the same page. All right? Let's get it. Oh, ain't that pretty? Love starts within. You must be able to fully accept and love yourself exactly as you are. You know that you are unique with your own set of gifts to offer the world. Accept the things you can't change and make an effort to change the things you can. No matter what, above all, love yourself first, okay? And you must forgive yourself and others for past mistakes and past actions and trauma, okay? So starting from the top, this is the most important thing, and this is what I've had to learn recently. Self-love, okay? You have to accept and love yourself for exactly as you are. I don't personally like my smile, okay? That's something I can't change right now. You know what I mean? So I have to accept it as it is, right? Know that you're unique with your own set of gifts to offer the world. So don't compare yourself to somebody else. Don't look at this other person and say, oh, well, they can run faster than I can. They can jump higher than I can. Well, you might be able to play the piano or the trap drums better than they can. You might be able to play the saxophone better than they can, all right? So stop comparing yourself to others. Focus on what your unique gifts and talents are that you have to offer the world, okay? Accept the things you can't change and make an effort to change the things that you can. So what does that mean? Just as I said in step number 1, I personally have self-esteem issues with my appearance, okay? These are things that I can't change, right? So I have to accept them for as they are. But let's say I have a poor body image and I don't like the way that my body looks. Well, I can do something about that. I can put forth the effort to get into the gym or to get on the bicycle or to go walking or jogging or whatever to enact a plan to change that, right? So you have to think about the things that you can actually change about yourself that you may not like, okay? And if you don't like them that bad, then please put forth the effort to change them, right? So if you're not going to put forth the effort to change them and you accept yourself for who you are, you have to love yourself first before you can love anybody else, before you can be a viable partner, before you can offer love to any other person on this earth. You have to love yourself first, okay? And also forgive yourself and others for past mistakes. And what I mean by that is sometimes in my case, when I was a small child, there were times when, you know, things were happening to me and they felt good, right? And then later on, when I thought about those things, I'm like, oh, wow, I actually enjoyed that. You know what I'm saying? Or I would look forward to the times where I could go this place and this young girl was doing this to me or that to me, right? Or I would look forward to the times where I could go have sex with that grown woman and I'm 15 years old. You see what I'm saying? I had to forgive myself for enjoying those things. I had to forgive myself for feeling guilty about those actions or feeling guilty about the emotions, okay? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. We didn't know any better, okay? We weren't taught any better in those situations, all right? So we have to forgive ourselves. And we also have to forgive those people that transgressed upon us, right? Because those same things that they were doing were probably done to them, and they were probably unaware, okay? So we have to look at the wheel and the circle of how things happen and begin to forgive ourselves and forgive others, okay? It's beautiful. Okay, we are all one. And this goes back to what I said from the beginning. We are all one. First, realize we are all connected via the divine universal consciousness. Again, universal means one verse, one song. We should all, as a human race, be on one sheet of music, the same page, okay? Make an effort to connect with each person you encounter, right? So as I'm walking down the street going about my daily routine and I'm passing a person by and that person looks at me and smiles at me and says, "Good morning," I don't want to have an attitude and just kind of look at her sideways and be like, yeah, it's morning, but it ain't good, or, you know, something rude or not respond, okay? So when a person gives you energy or expresses energy to you, you want to return that, okay? And even sometimes when that person doesn't express it, you want to be the one to initiate that, because you never know what that person's going through. They may need someone to say hello to them, "How are you doing today?" You know, and that made their day, right? We never know what level or what station a person is mentally, right? We don't know what's going on in that person's home life. just as well as they don't know what's going on in ours. So we want to try to treat people with the same respect that we would want. Okay? Make an effort to mentally project love towards every person and animal. So even if you're not speaking, let's go back to the last one. Let's say I see someone at a distance, you know, they're engaged in whatever, and it would be rude to speak or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? They might be too far. I don't want to holler across the way. Hey, good morning. How you doing? You project love in your mind and use your heart to project that love to that person or that animal or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Make an effort to see each person as your brother or sister, no matter the appearance. This right here is going to help you with the unconditional love, because when you look at each individual, no matter what their genetic makeup is, no matter what their orientation, gay, straight, otherwise, I don't care what it is, all right? When you look at each individual as a brother or as a sister or as an equal, all right, that also is going to help you get in that mode of unconditional love when you see a person on the same level as you, okay? Excuse me, I need to grab my coffee, all right? We got to keep it a buck here, all right? So, look at how cute. Relationships and bonds. This is something I know quite a bit about, family. I've screwed up quite a few relationships in my day. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. And so I know quite a bit about relationships and bonds. And I've also healed and been able to get past a lot of the, let's say, cheating and lying and stealing and all these different things that may go on throughout the course of relationships or marriages, okay? You name it, I've been through it. I have been cheated on. I have been lied to. I've had things stolen from me. I've had $40,000 stole from me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been there and done that, family. And if I'm able to forgive someone for that, if I'm able to forgive people for all of the past things that have been done to me, then I'm quite sure that you can as well, okay? So, you have to start at the core, right? So when we're figuring out if this relationship or bond applies to my universal love template, this is what we're going to go through. Does that person inspire you to be your best? Okay? If that person doesn't inspire you to be your best, if that person doesn't support you in being your best and wanting to progress and elevate and level up in life, that may not be the person for you. That person may not have unconditional love for you, okay? Is that person a positive or negative influence, right? If they're a positive influence, if that person is a ray of light on your life, if that person comes up with creative solutions and plans, and you guys discuss different things on how to progress as a couple, that's a beautiful thing, right? But if that, on the flip side of that coin, if that influence is negative, you also have to be aware of that. And if you can't check it on your own, if you can't stay strong enough in your psyche to be able to separate the two, then you have to let that go, because that's a toxic situation. And more than likely, most toxic situations are going to bring you down. You're not going to overcome them. They're going to bring you down, okay? Unless your vibration is extremely high, all right? Does this person judge you or place conditions on their love, right? So if they judge you for no matter what, or place conditions on them loving you, say, well, I'll love you if you quit drinking, or I'll love you if this, that, and the third, right? Well, you don't really love me then, because if you really loved me, you would help me work through my drinking. If you really loved me, you would help me work through whatever issue I'm having. Now, if we've gone through a period of years and you're not seeing the progress of the work, and I keep talking a good game, but I'm not putting forth the effort, putting forth the energy behind that, then you need to reevaluate that connection, right? But if that person if you're meeting them halfway and you're helping them do the work and you're standing by them and you see them progressing and changing, that's a beautiful thing. We can work with that, okay? What type of feeling do you get before and after encountering that person? Do you feel energized? Do you feel tingly and buzzy? Do you have butterflies in your stomach? Or do you feel drained? Do you feel tired? Do you feel irritated? Do you feel angry? You see what I'm saying? You have to evaluate and come to an accurate conclusion of how how interacting with that person makes you feel, okay? Is that person supportive and understanding of your needs, right? That's very important, especially in a partnership, because if you do not have a mate that is supportive and understanding of your needs or of your thought process or whatever you have going on, you're not going to get very far. You've got to be able to support each other and understand each other in each other's needs. Sometimes my needs or my wants may have to take a back seat to hers, okay? It may be more prudent or effective for me to fall back and continue my role as going to work 9 to 5, and then she can go to school, finish her degree, do what she needs to do, and now she can level up, right? Now she's doing her thing. Now I can fall back and focus on my thing because I got my whiz straight. You feel me? So just little things like that. It's got to be a 50-50. You can't expect that other person to always sacrifice and give in to your desires or wants or needs, okay? You have to be consciously aware of the other party's wants, needs, desires, and what they envision for their ideal relationship or their life, okay? Do you feel unconditional love from them? That's a simple question. I don't need to break that down, okay? You know what it is. Do you feel like that person is judging you because of whatever action? Do you feel like you can't be yourself around that person? Do you feel like, any number of things. If you can't be yourself around somebody and you feel like you have to put on a facade or act a certain way or talk a certain way around this person, they may not love you unconditionally. Let's move on. Yay, yay. Future keys for success, baby. We want clear communication. This is one of the most important things in my book. That's why it's at the top of the list. If you communicate to your mate or your other party everything that you need to have a fulfilling and stable relationship, or everything you need to feel loved and to feel wanted and to feel valued in that relationship, you have to communicate those things from the beginning. Because if you don't, and that person is not giving you exactly what you envisioned, that's your fault. You did not put into place the standard in which you wanted to be treated, or the standard in which you wanted to progress forward in that relationship, okay? And when you're doing the clear communication, you want to be honest. You want to have honesty and loyalty to your mate, all right? Unless you already established from the beginning in the clear communication that we're going to have an open relationship, or I'm okay with you sleeping with other women but not other men, whatever the case may be, okay? If you don't get that straight right here, all this right here ain't nothing, all right? So if you want to have yourself in a polygamous relationship, you need to communicate that clearly. You need to say, hey, look, I'm okay with having multiple women, this, that, and the third, but I'm not okay having multiple men. Or I'm okay with having an open relationship. You do what you do, I do what I do, but as long as we come home at night and we're together and we contribute to the house and everything's good and we have that bond and established, then we're good, all right? So we got the clear communication, honesty, loyalty. Be non-judgmental, okay? Be non-judgmental in the aspect of you're not perfect either. No one on this planet is going to be perfect, all right? So in the same regard as I would not want someone else picking apart my actions and picking apart my words and doing those type of things, I'm not going to do that same thing to somebody else, okay? Be understanding. Be able to meet that person on their level and understand them, because they may not be as emotionally mature as you, or they may not be financially on the same level as you. You got to be understanding. If you truly love that person, you truly want to work, and you truly want to evolve as a couple, you have to be understanding in that regard and meet that person where they're at so that you guys can grow together, okay? Express your emotions clearly. That's self-explanatory. Observe the actions and not the person. This is my personal touch on the equation, okay? When I look at people and I look at behavior, okay, you know, some people was like, oh, well, that person's a drug addict, and I can't be around a drug addict, and drug addicts and da-da-da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be, you know, that person's overweight, or blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? You have to look at the conditions in which that was created in, or you have to look at the action itself and judge the action, all right? So if this person's an alcoholic, right, and we're dating, and I love this person and I want to make it work, right, I'm observing the alcoholism. I'm judging the alcoholism. I'm condemning the alcoholism because that is what leads to detrimental behavior. That's what leads to toxic things, right? I'm not judging that person. I'm judging that act, right? And so that's the one thing that we need to wrap our minds around. You cannot judge the person. You have to condemn the act, okay? Do not condemn the person. Condemn the act. And hopefully, through that conviction and through a positive example, that person can reverse that behavior or can change those actions, all right? And of course, last but not least, future keys for success is unconditional love. And that applies to any personal relationship, any work relationship, whatever across the board. Unconditional love is going to be one of the most important things that you can ever enact, all right? And of course, that's the last slide. I love cows, so I had to throw that in there. It's such a beautiful picture, okay? So, to close it out, family, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, and you can look right here, any person who's under the power of my voice right now, who is watching my image or watching this video, can truly and authentically see, I love you. I love every human being on this planet. I see you as a brother or a sister. If you want to mistreat me, if you want to do what you want to me, that's fine. There's going to be repercussions for that, okay? And I will lovingly spank you, okay? Smite you, and then I'll pick you up and dust you off. And still tell you I love you again. And hopefully you won't do that again, okay? But that is unconditional love. If you come at me, I will put you down, but I'll also pick you back up, dust you off, and tell you I love you, okay? So, this has been Alec Himes, Truth Healing 777. Please like, share, subscribe if you resonate with this message. If you want to donate, give a love offering or a gift, PayPal information, Cash App, links are in the description. Peace and love, family. Thank you for being with me.